Want to know if your Japanese skills are improving and what your real learning level is? Get your language skills assessed with our free level assessment test. Just click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get assessed.
皆さんこんにちは、加納かなです。Hi everyone, I'm Kana Kano. In this lesson, you learn how to ask for something at the grocery store.
This is Ben Lee, and he's at a small grocery store. After finding something he likes, he points and says, "That, please."
それをください。
Listen to the conversation. Focus on Ben's request. Ready?
それをください。はい、どうぞ。
Once more with the English translation.
それをください。
That, please.
はい、どうぞ。
Yes, here you are.
Let's take a closer look at how Ben asks for an item without knowing its name.
Do you remember how Ben says, "That, please"?
それをください。
This standard way of asking for something follows a simple pattern. First is
それ、
that.
それ、それ、
Next is
お、
the object marking particle.
お、お、
Think of
お、
as a marker for the thing receiving the action. In this sentence, it marks
それ、
that as the object being requested. Last is
ください、
please.
ください、ください、
Altogether, it's
それをください。
meaning that, please.
それをください。
Do you remember how the clerk says, "Yes, here you are"?
はい、どうぞ。
First is
はい、
yes.
はい、はい、
After this is
どうぞ、
meaning here you are in this context, as the shop clerk is handing something to Ben.
どうぞ、どうぞ、どうぞ。
Literally translates as please or kindly. The meaning, however, is derived from the context of the situation or conversation. When
どうぞ、
is said accompanying the action of handing someone something, it translates as here you are.
どうぞ、
Altogether, it's
はい、どうぞ。
yes, here you are.
はい、どうぞ。
The pattern is
アイテムをください。
item, please.
アイテムをください。
To use this pattern, simply replace the item placeholder with the thing you want to ask for. Imagine you'd like some water.
水、水、水。
Say, "Water, please." Ready?
水をください。
Water, please.
水をください。
In Japanese, the following three words refer to a thing depending on the distance from the speaker. For things located within arm's distance, これです。これ、これ。For things located just out of arm's distance, それ、that, それ。And finally, for things located a bit farther, あれ、that over there, あれ、あれ。
Let's look at some more examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
それをください。それをください。
水をください。水をください。
バナナをください。バナナをください。
あれをください。あれをください。
水とこれをください。水とこれをください。Did you notice how I used a different pattern? 水とこれをください。
Water. And this, please. When requesting multiple items, you can join them with
と、
meaning and in this context.
と、と、
The pattern is
アイテム、と、アイテムをください。
item and item, please.
アイテム、と、アイテムをください。
Let's review the key words.
水、
Water,
水、水。バナナ、
banana,
バナナ、バナナ。あれ、
that over there,
あれ、あれ。これ、
this,
これ、これ。
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say please? ください。ください。And how to say that? それ。それ。Do you remember how Ben says, that please?
それをください。
それをください。Do you remember how to say, yes? はい。はい。Do you remember how the clerk says, yes, here you are?
はい、どうぞ。
はい、どうぞ。Do you remember how to say, water? 水。水。And how to say banana? バナナ。バナナ。Do you remember how to say this? これ。これ。
Let's practice. Imagine you're Ben, and you're at the grocery store to buy water. Ready?
水をください。
はい、どうぞ。
Listen again and repeat.
水をください。 水をください。
Let's try another. Imagine you're Sasha, and you're at the grocery store to buy a banana. Ready?
バナナをください。
はい、どうぞ。
Listen again and repeat.
バナナをください。バナナをください。
Let's try one more. Now imagine you're Karen, and you see an item on the counter within arm's reach. Point to it and say, "This, please." Ready?
これをください。
はい、どうぞ。
Listen again and repeat.
これをください。これをください。
皆さんこんにちは、加納かなです。Hi everyone, I'm Kana Kano. In this lesson, you learn how to ask if a store has something.
This is Sasha Lee. She's at a small grocery store and wants to buy some salt. She gets the clerk's attention and says, "Excuse me, is there any salt?"
すみません。塩はありますか？
Listen to the conversation. Focus on Sasha's question. Ready?
すみません。塩はありますか？
はい、こちらです。
Once more with the English translation.
すみません。塩はありますか？
Excuse me, is there any salt?
はい、こちらです。
Yes, it's here.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how Sasha asks, "Excuse me, is there any salt?"
すみません。塩はありますか？
First is
すみません。
meaning excuse me in this context.
すみません。すみません。
Next is
塩、
salt.
塩、塩
After this is
は、
the topic marking particle.
は、は
It marks salt as the topic of the sentence. Think of it like as for, in the expression as for salt. Next is
あります。
meaning there is.
あります。あります。あります。
Is a polite form of the verb
ある、
meaning to exist.
ある。
Last is
か、
the question marking particle.
か、か。
This particle turns the sentence into a question. Altogether, it's
すみません。塩はありますか？
this literally means, "Excuse me, as for salt, there is," but it translates as, "Excuse me, is there any salt?" or, "Do you have any salt?"
すみません。塩はありますか？
This question pattern is useful in a lot of situations, not just when you want to know if a shop carries a certain item.
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how the shop clerk says, "Yes, it's here"?
はい、こちらです。
First is
はい、
yes.
はい、はい。
This answers Sasha's question. Next is
こちらです。
meaning it's here.
こちらです。
Note, the shopkeeper says this while gesturing in the direction of the salt. First is
こちら。
a polite word meaning here.
こちら。こちら。
And last is,
です。
in this case, it's like the is in it is.
です。です。
Together it's,
こちらです。
this literally means, here it is. But it translates as, it's here.
こちらです。
This is a shortened form of,
それはこちらです。
as for that, here it is. The phrase,
それは。
as for that, is inferred through context, as the speaker is responding to a question about the salt, and therefore it is omitted.
こちらです。
Altogether it's,
はい、こちらです。
meaning yes, it's here.
はい、こちらです。
The pattern is,
アイテムはありますか？
is there any? Item.
アイテムはありますか？
To use this pattern, simply replace the item placeholder with the thing you're looking for. Imagine you're looking for milk.
牛乳。牛乳。牛乳。
Say, is there any milk? Ready?
牛乳はありますか？
Is there any milk?
牛乳はありますか？
In most cases, Japanese doesn't make a distinction between singular and plural nouns. You'll use the same pattern when you're looking for salt, or an apple, or a dozen apples. For example, リンゴはありますか can translate as, are there any apples? Or, is there an apple? Depending on the number of apples.
The English translation may alternate between singular and plural, but the Japanese pattern remains the same. Let's look at some more examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
塩はありますか？塩はありますか？
牛乳はありますか？牛乳はありますか？
リンゴはありますか？リンゴはありますか？
胡椒はありますか？胡椒はありますか？
砂糖はどこですか砂糖はどこですか Did you notice how I used a different pattern? 砂糖はどこですか
Where is the sugar? First is
砂糖。
sugar.
さとう。砂糖
After this is
は
the topic marking particle.
は
It marks
砂糖
sugar as the topic of the sentence. Think of it like as for in the expression as for sugar. Next is
どこ
where.
どこどこ
After this is
です
here, it's like the is in where is.
です
Last is the particle,
か
the question marking particle.
か
This particle turns the sentence into a question. Altogether, it's
砂糖はどこですか？
this literally means, as for sugar, where it is. But it translates as, where is the sugar?
砂糖はどこですか？
You should be aware of this pattern, but you won't need it for this lesson. Let's review the new words.
牛乳、
Milk,
牛乳、牛乳。りんご、
apple,
りんご、りんご。胡椒、
pepper,
こしょう、胡椒。砂糖、
sugar,
砂糖、砂糖。
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say, "Excuse me"? すみません。すみません。And how to say the question marking particle. かか Do you remember the polite way to say, "There is"? あります。あります。And how to say salt. 塩。塩。Do you remember how Sasha Lee says, "Excuse me, is there any salt"?
すみません。塩はありますか？
すみません。塩はありますか？ Do you remember how to say yes? はい。はい。And do you remember how the clerk says, "Yes, it's here"?
はい、こちらです。
はい、こちらです。Do you remember the word for apple? りんご。りんご。And the word for sugar. 砂糖。砂糖。Do you remember the word for milk? 牛乳。牛乳。
Let's practice. Imagine you are Sasha Lee, and you're at the grocery store. Get the shopkeeper's attention, and ask if they have any apples. Ready?
すみません。りんごはありますか？
はい、こちらです。
Listen again and repeat.
すみません。りんごはありますか？すみません。りんごはありますか？
Now ask if they have any sugar. Ready?
砂糖はありますか？
はい、こちらです。
Listen again and repeat.
砂糖はありますか？砂糖はありますか？
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Ben Lee. Ask if they have milk. Ready?
牛乳はありますか？
はい、こちらです。
Listen again and repeat.
牛乳はありますか？牛乳はありますか？
皆さんこんにちは、加納かなです。Hi everyone, I'm Kana Kano. In this lesson, you learn how to ask how much something costs.
This is Ben Lee, and he's shopping at a small grocery store. He sees a snack with no visible price tag and asks, "How much is this?"
これはいくらですか？
Listen to the conversation. Focus on the question. Ready?
これはいくらですか？
200円です。
Once more with the English translation.
これはいくらですか？
How much is this?
200円です。
It's 200 yen.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how Ben asks, "How much is this?"
これはいくらですか？
The standard way of asking how much something costs follows a simple pattern. First is
これ、
this.
これ、これ
Next is
は、
the topic marking particle.
は、は
It marks this as the topic of the sentence. Think of it like as for in the expression as for this. Together,
これは、
as for this.
これは
Next is
いくら、
meaning how much.
いくら、いくら
After this is,
です。
in this case, it's like the is in how much is. It's a linking verb.
です。です。
Last is
か、
the question marking particle.
か、か
This particle turns the sentence into a question. Altogether, it's
これはいくらですか？
this literally means, as for this, how much it is, but translates as, how much is this?
これはいくらですか？
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how the shop clerk says, "It's 200 yen"?
200円です。
First is the number
200、
200.
200、200
After this is
円、
yen.
円、円
Together, it's
200円、
200 yen.
200円
And last is,
です。
in this case, it's like the is in it is.
です。です。
Altogether, it's
200円です。
This literally means 200 yen it is, but translates as it's 200 yen.
200円です。
Note, the it is inferred through the context as the speaker is responding to a question about the price of the small snack. Note, at the time of this lesson, 100 yen buys a bottle of water. The pattern is
アイテムはいくらですか？
How much is item?
アイテムはいくらですか？
To use this pattern, simply replace the item placeholder with the thing you'd like to know the price of. Imagine you'd like to know the price of a coffee.
コーヒー、コーヒー、コーヒー。
Ask, how much is a coffee? Ready?
コーヒーはいくらですか？
How much is a coffee?
コーヒーはいくらですか？
If you don't know the name of something in Japanese, you can use the following 3 words to refer to a thing depending on the distance from the speaker and listener. For things located nearby the speaker,
これ、
this.
これ、これ。
For things located further away from the speaker and closer to the listener,
それ、
that.
それ、それ。
And finally, for things far from both the speaker and listener,
あれ、
that over there.
あれ、あれ。
Let's look at some more examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
これはいくらですか？これはいくらですか？
コーヒーはいくらですか？コーヒーはいくらですか？スイカはいくらですか？スイカはいくらですか？
それはいくらですか？それはいくらですか？
いくらですか？いくらですか？ Did you notice how I omitted これは？いくらですか？
How much is it? When you're asking how much something is, and it's understood what you're speaking about. For example, when asking the waiter about the final amount owed at a restaurant. You can omit the topic and the topic marking particle in this way. The pattern is
いくらですか？
how much is it? You should be aware of this pattern. But for this lesson, we'll use the sentence pattern
アイテムはいくらですか？
how much is item? Let's review the new words.
コーヒー、
Coffee,
コーヒー、コーヒー。スイカ、
watermelon,
スイカ、スイカ。それ、
that.
それ、それ。
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember the question marking particle? か、か and how to say how much. いくら、いくら。Do you remember how to say the topic marking particle? は、は。And how to say this? これ、これ。Do you remember how Bendy asks, how much is this?
これはいくらですか？
これはいくらですか？ Do you remember how to say yen? 円、円。And how to say 200? 200、200。Do you remember how the clerk says, it's 200 yen?
200円です。
200円です。Do you remember how to say coffee? コーヒー、コーヒー。And how to say watermelon? スイカ、スイカ。Do you remember how to say that? それ、それ。
Let's practice. Imagine you're Ben, and you're at a farmer's market, where many items have no price tag. You'd like to try a snack close to the listener. Ask the price using the word for that. Ready?
それはいくらですか？
500円です。
Listen again and repeat.
それはいくらですか？それはいくらですか？
Let's try one more. They're also selling artisan coffee. Ask for the price of a coffee. Ready?
コーヒーはいくらですか？
1000円です。
Listen again and repeat.
コーヒーはいくらですか？コーヒーはいくらですか？
Let's try one more. They're also selling watermelons. Ready?
スイカはいくらですか？
800円です。
Listen again and repeat.
スイカはいくらですか？スイカはいくらですか？
This is the end of this lesson. 皆さんこんにちは。カノカナです。Hi everyone, I'm Kana Kano. In this lesson, you learn how to order at the restaurant in Japanese.
This is Mark Lee, and he's at a restaurant with his wife. Mark says to the server, "Excuse me, water please."
すみません。水をお願いします。
Listen to the conversation and focus on Mark's request. Ready?
すみません。水をお願いします。
はい、かしこまりました。
Once more with the English translation.
すみません。水をお願いします。
Excuse me, water please.
はい、かしこまりました。
Yes, understood.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how Mark asks for water?
すみません。水をお願いします。
First is
すみません。
meaning excuse me in this context.
すみません。すみません。
Note, this expression can also be a mild apology and even a very polite thank you. Its most fundamental and perhaps most frequent use, though, is when you want to get someone's attention. In this case, Mark wants to get the attention of the server. After this is
水、
water.
水、水、
Note,
お冷や、
water is another common word used to ask for water.
お冷や、
Next is
お、
the object marking particle.
お、
Think of
お、
as a marker for the thing receiving the action. In this sentence, it marks
水、
water as the object of the request. Last is the phrase
お願いします。
meaning please.
おねがいします。お願いします。
Altogether, it's
すみません。水をお願いします。
excuse me, water please.
すみません。水をお願いします。
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember the server's response? Yes, understood.
はい、かしこまりました。
First is
はい、
yes.
はい、はい、
Next is
かしこまりました。
meaning understood.
かしこまりました。かしこまりました。かしこまりました。
is from the verb
かしこまる。
meaning to understand.
かしこまる。
Note,
かしこまる。
is a form of humble speech. The standard neutral way to say to understand is
わかる。
note in Japanese places of business, including restaurants and convenience stores. Complex Japanese phrases are commonly used to show respect to the customer. Even as a beginner, you should be aware of them, as you will hear these phrases in daily life. Together it's
はい、かしこまりました。
meaning yes, understood.
はい、かしこまりました。
The pattern is
すみません。アイテムをお願いします。
excuse me, item please.
すみません。アイテムをお願いします。
To use this pattern, simply replace the item placeholder with the object you are requesting. Imagine you'd like a menu.
メニュー、メニュー、メニュー。
Say, excuse me, a menu please. Ready?
すみません。メニューをお願いします。
Excuse me, a menu please.
すみません。メニューをお願いします。
Note that when Mark wanted to get the server's attention, he loudly calls for him by saying すみません. In Japanese culture, it's not impolite and often expected that you call for your server's attention in this way. Alternatively, you can also say お願いします to get a waiter's attention.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
すみません。水をお願いします。すみません。水をお願いします。
メニューをお願いします。メニューをお願いします。
これをお願いします。これをお願いします。
お会計をお願いします。お会計をお願いします。
すみません。お会計お願いします。すみません。お会計お願いします。Did you notice how I omitted the object marking particle おすみません。お会計お願いします。
Excuse me, the check please. First is
すみません。
excuse me.
すみません。
Next is
お会計。
the check or bill, as in the amount owed for food and drink in a restaurant or a bar.
お会計。お会計。
Is made up of two parts. First is the honorific prefix
お。お。お。
Here, the honorific prefix is placed in front of the noun,
会計。
bill or check.
会計。会計。
Together,
お会計。
note, you can say
会計。
without the honorific prefix, but by using
お。
here, the speaker sounds more polite and refined. Next, the speaker omitted the particle
お。
that followed
お会計。
the check. In Japanese, it's common to omit particles when the meaning is clear from context. Doing so is often associated with casual speech, but you'll hear it in more formal language as well. The pattern is
アイテム。お願いします。
you should be aware of this shortcut, but for this lesson, we'll use the full sentence pattern.
アイテム。をお願いします。
Let's review the new words.
これ。
This,
これ。これ。会計。
check,
会計。会計。お会計。
the polite way to say check.
お会計。お会計。
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say, excuse me? すみません。すみません。And how to say, please? お願いします。お願いします。Do you remember the word for water? 水。水。Do you remember how Mark Lee says, "Excuse me, water please"?
すみません。水をお願いします。
すみません。水をお願いします。Do you remember how to say yes? はい。はい。Do you remember how the waiter says, yes, understood?
はい、かしこまりました。
はい、かしこまりました。Do you remember the polite way to say check? お会計。お会計。And how to say menu? Menu. Menu. Do you remember how to say this? これ。これ。
Let's practice. Imagine you're Karen Lee, and you're at a restaurant. Get the waiter's attention and ask for the menu. Ready?
すみません。メニューをお願いします。
はい、かしこまりました。
Listen again and repeat.
すみません。メニューをお願いします。すみません。メニューをお願いします。
Let's try another. You see a picture of something you'd like on the menu. Order it using the word for this. Ready?
すみません。これをお願いします。
はい、かしこまりました。
Listen again and repeat.
すみません。これをお願いします。すみません。これをお願いします。
Let's try another. Imagine you're Mark Lee, and you'd like the check. Ready?
すみません。お会計をお願いします。
はい、かしこまりました。
Listen again and repeat.
すみません。お会計をお願いします。すみません。お会計をお願いします。
皆さんこんにちは。加納かなです。Hi everyone, I'm Kana Kano. In this lesson, you learn how to order two or more of something.
This is Karen Lee, and she's at a restaurant with her husband. The server is ready to take her order and says to Karen, "Your order, please."
ご注文をどうぞ。
Listen to the conversation and focus on Karen's response. Ready?
ご注文をどうぞ。
これを2つください。
Once more with the English translation.
ご注文をどうぞ。
Your order, please.
これを2つください。
Two of these, please.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how the server says, "Your order, please"? This is a standard way of prompting a customer for an order. First is
ご注文、
meaning order, as in to place an order for food.
ご注文、
There are two parts to this. Let's start with
注文、
order.
注文、注文、
Before
注文、
is the honorific prefix.
ご、
The server uses this to show the customer more respect and increase the politeness level. Note, you may be familiar with another honorific prefix,
お、
as in.
お会計、
As a general rule of thumb, the prefix
お、
is used with native Japanese words, while
ご、
is used with words with Chinese roots, Sino-Japanese words. In the case of
注文、ご注文、
after this is
お、
the object marking particle.
お、お、
Think of
お、
as a marker for the thing receiving the action. In this sentence, it marks
ご注文、
your order as the thing being requested. And last is
どうぞ、
which translates as please in this context.
どうぞ、どうぞ、どうぞ、
is used to make a request very polite. Altogether, it's
ご注文をどうぞ。
this literally means order please, but translates as your order, please.
ご注文をどうぞ。
This sentence is the shortened version of
ご注文をどうぞ言ってください。
which translates as please say your order.
言ってください。
Means please say.
言ってください。
However, the phrase
言ってください。
is omitted, as this is understood from the context of the situation and question.
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how Karen says, "Two of these, please"?
これを2つください。
First is
これ、
meaning this, or in this case, these.
これ、これ、
In Japanese, there's no plural form for most words, so
これ、
can be both singular and plural depending on the context of the situation. In this case, it's plural, so we'll translate as these. Next is
お、
the object marking particle.
お、
In this sentence, it marks
これ、
these as the things being requested. After this is
2つ、
two.
2つ、2つ、
Last is the word
ください、
meaning please.
ください、ください。
Together, it's
これを2つください。
this literally means these two, please, but translates as two of these, please.
これを2つください。
The pattern is
これを number ください。
number of these, please.
これを number ください。
To use this pattern, simply replace the number placeholder with the number of items you're requesting. Imagine you'd like 3 of something.
3つ、
3.
3つ、3つ、
Say 3 of these, please. Ready?
これを3つください。
3 of these, please.
これを3つください。
In Japanese, you use special counters when you count objects. The counter used depends on the shape or characteristic of the object. For example, こ is used for small or round objects. 本 is used for long objects. 枚 is used for flat objects. There is also a general counter, which is つ as in 1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ。This set of general counters can be used when there is no specific counter or when you don't know the counter. Note, the set only goes up to 10.
Let's look at some more examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
これを2つください。これを2つください。
これを3つください。これを3つください。
これを4つください。これを4つください。
これを1つください。これを1つください。
これを1つと、これを2つください。これを1つと、これを2つください。Did you notice how I added これを1つと one of these and to the beginning of the order? これを1つとこれを2つください。
One of these and 2 of these, please. When pointing out multiple items on the menu, you can join them with the particle
と、
meaning and.
と、と。
Here is the variation pattern.
これを number とこれを number ください。
You should be aware of this pattern, but you won't need it for this lesson. Let's review the new words.
4つ、
4,
4つ、4つ。1つ、
1,
1つ、1つ。
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say, please? ください。ください。And how to say the object marking particle? お。お。Do you remember how to say this or these? これ。これ。Do you remember how currently says 2 of these, please?
これを2つください。
これを2つください。Do you remember the polite way to say your order? ご注文。ご注文。And how to say the object marking particle? お。お。Do you remember how the server says Your order, please.
ご注文をどうぞ。
ご注文をどうぞ。Using the general counter, do you remember how to say 1? 一つ一つ and how to say 3? 三つ三つ and how to say 4? 四つ四つ
Let's practice. Imagine you're Mark Lee, and you're at a restaurant. You see a picture of a dish you'd like to try. Respond to the server by saying, "One of these, please." Ready?
ご注文をどうぞ。
これを一つください。
Listen again and repeat.
これを一つください。これを一つください。
Let's try another. Now imagine you want to order 3 of something. Ready?
ご注文をどうぞ。
これを三つください。
Listen again and repeat.
これを三つください。これを三つください。
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Karen Lee, and you want to order 4 of something. Ready?
ご注文をどうぞ。
これを4つください。
Listen again and repeat.
これを4つください。これを4つください。
皆さんこんにちは、加納かなです。Hi everyone, I'm Kana Kano. In this lesson, you learn how to give your email address.
This is Karen Lee, and she's at City Hall, registering her address. The civil servant who is helping her says, "Miss Lee, your email address, please."
リーさん、メールアドレスをお願いします。
Listen to the conversation and focus on the response. Ready?
リーさん、メールアドレスをお願いします。
私のメールアドレスは karen@inorang.com です。
Once more with the English translation.
リーさん、メールアドレスをお願いします。
Miss Lee, your email address, please.
私のメールアドレスは karen@inorang.com です。
My email address is karen@inolang.com.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how the civil servant says, "Miss Lee, your email address, please"?
リーさん、メールアドレスをお願いします。
First is
リーさん、
Miss Lee.
リーさん、
This starts with Karen's family name,
リー、
Lee.
リー、リー、
After this is
さん、
a polite suffix added to a person's name.
さ、ん、さん、
The suffix can be used with any gender and translates as Miss in Karen's case. Together it's
リーさん、
Miss Lee.
リーさん、
Next is
メールアドレス、
email address.
メールアドレス、メールアドレス、
This word has two parts. First is
メール、
a commonly used abbreviation for email.
メール、メール、
Next is
アドレス、
address.
アドレス、アドレス、
Together,
メールアドレス、
email address.
メールアドレス、
Remember this because you'll see it again in Karen's response. Next is
お、
the object marking particle.
お、
Think of
お、
as a marker for the thing receiving the action. In this sentence, it marks
メールアドレス、
email address as the object being requested. Last is
お願いします。
please.
お願いします。お願いします。
Altogether, it's
リーさん、メールアドレスをお願いします。
this literally means Miss Lee, email address please, but translates as Miss Lee, your email address please.
リーさん、メールアドレスをお願いします。
Note the your in your email address is understood from the context of the two-person conversation. Omitting understood information is common in Japanese. Remember this request. You'll hear it again later.
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how Karen says, my email address is karen@inolang.com?
私のメールアドレスは karen@inolang.com です。
First is
私の、
my.
私の、
This starts with
私、
I.
私、私
After this is
の、
the possessive marking particle.
の、の、
Together, it's
私の、
my.
私の、
Next, do you remember how to say email address?
メールアドレス、
Email address.
メールアドレス、
Together,
私のメールアドレス、
my email address.
私のメールアドレス
Next is
は、
the topic marking particle.
は、
It marks my email address as the topic of the sentence. Think of it like as for in the expression as for my email address. Next is Karen's email address.
karen@inolang.com
First is Karen's name.
karen
Next is the @ sign. In Japanese, it's pronounced
アットマーク、アットマーク、
note
アットマーク、
can also be shortened to
アット、
a way to abbreviate @ sign.
アット、アット。
Next is the domain name in Japanese.
イノラング
And last is
.com
.com.
.com .com
Altogether, Karen's email address is
KAREN アットマークイノラング .com
last is.
です。
In this case, it's like the is in it is.
です。
Altogether, it's
私のメールアドレスは KAREN アットマークイノラング .com です。
This literally means, as for my email address, KAREN at inolang.com it is. But translates as, my email address is KAREN at inolang.com.
私のメールアドレスは KAREN アットマークイノラング .com です。
The pattern is
私のメールアドレスは email address です。
my email address is email address.
私のメールアドレスは email address です。
To use this pattern, simply replace the email address placeholder with your email address. Imagine your email address is maki at inolang.com.
maki アットマークイノラング .com maki アットマークイノラング .com
Say, my email address is maki at inolang.com. Ready?
私のメールアドレスは maki アットマークイノラング .com です。
My email address is maki at inolang.com.
私のメールアドレスは maki アットマークイノラング .com です。
When giving your email address in Japanese, if the domain name is well known, you don't need to spell it out. For example, Gmail, Gmail. However, outside of well-known domain names, it will usually be necessary to spell it out.
Let's look at some more examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
私のメールアドレスは KAREN アットマークイノラング .com です。
私のメールアドレスは maki アットマークイノラング .com です。
私のメールアドレスは ben アットマークイノラング .com です。
私のメールアドレスは tomoko アットマークイノラング .com です。
メールアドレスは kk アットマークイノラング .com です。Did you notice how I omitted 私のメールアドレスは kk アットマークイノラング .com です。
My email address is kk at inolang.com. The speaker omitted
私の
meaning my. When giving your email address in response to a request, you can omit the phrase
私の
my, because the context is clear in a two-person conversation. The pattern is
メールアドレスは email address です。
Email address is email address.
メールアドレスは email address です。
This can be shortened even further.
kk@inolang.com です。
When responding to a request, you can omit the whole phrase,
私のメールアドレスは
meaning as for my email address, because it's clear from the context the speaker is giving their email address. This is the shortest answer to a request to give your email address.
email address です。
It's email address.
email address です。
You should be aware of these shortcuts, but for this lesson, we'll use the full sentence pattern.
私のメールアドレスは email address です。
My email address is email address.
私のメールアドレスは email address です。
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say .com? .com .com and how to say inolang.com 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 Do you remember how to say @sign? @and how to spell Karen? Karen Karen Do you remember how to say email address? メールアドレスメールアドレス and how to say my email address? 私のメールアドレス私のメールアドレス Do you remember how to say as for my email address? 私のメールアドレスは私のメールアドレスは Do you remember how Karen says, my email address is karen@inolang.com?
私のメールアドレスは karen@inolang.com です。
私のメールアドレスは karen@inolang.com です。Do you remember how to say please? お願いします。お願いします。And how to say Miss Lee? リーさん。リーさん。Do you remember how to say the object marking particle? お。お。Do you remember the clerk's request? Miss Lee, your email address, please.
リーさん、メールアドレスをお願いします。
リーさん、メールアドレスをお願いします。
Let's practice. Imagine you're Ben Lee, and your email address is ben@inolang.com.
ben@inolang.com
Respond to the civil servant's request. Ready?
メールアドレスをお願いします。
私のメールアドレスは ben@inolang.com です。
Listen again and repeat.
私のメールアドレスは ben@inolang.com です。私のメールアドレスは ben@inolang.com です。
Let's try another. Imagine you're Tomoko Tanaka, and your email address is
tomoko@inolang.com
Ready?
メールアドレスをお願いします。
私のメールアドレスは tomoko@inolang.com です。
Listen again and repeat.
私のメールアドレスは tomoko@inolang.com です。私のメールアドレスは tomoko@inolang.com です。
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Kana Kano, and your email address is
kk@inolang.com
Ready?
メールアドレスをお願いします。
私のメールアドレスは kk@inolang.com です。
Listen again and repeat.
私のメールアドレスは kk@inolang.com です。私のメールアドレスは kk@inolang.com です。This is the end of this lesson. 皆さんこんにちは、加納かなです。Hi everyone, I'm Kana Kano. In this lesson, you learn how to talk about your nationality in Japanese.
This is Noriko Nagaoka. She's on a plane, seated next to Megumi Sasaki. Miss Nagaoka is reading a Japanese magazine, and Miss Sasaki asks, "Are you Japanese?"
日本人ですか？
Listen to the conversation and focus on the response. Ready?
日本人ですか？
はい、日本人です。
Once more with the English translation.
日本人ですか？
Are you Japanese?
はい、日本人です。
Yes, I'm Japanese.
Let's take a closer look at the conversation.
Do you remember how Miss Sasaki asks, "Are you Japanese?"
日本人ですか？
First is
日本人、
Japanese. as in a Japanese person.
日本人、
There are two components. This starts with
日本、
Japan.
日本、日本、
After this is
人、
person.
人、人、
Together
日本人、
literally means Japan person, but translates as Japanese, as in a Japanese person.
日本人、
Note,
日本人、
is a noun, not an adjective. Next is,
です。
here it's like the R in are you.
です。です。
Last is the particle,
か、
the question marking particle.
か、か、
This turns the sentence into a question. Altogether it's,
日本人ですか？
this literally means Japanese person, you are, but it translates as, are you Japanese? Note the you is understood from context, as this is a two-person conversation.
日本人ですか？
Let's take a closer look at the response.
Do you remember how Miss Nagaoka says, yes, I'm Japanese?
はい、日本人です。
The first part is,
はい、
meaning yes.
はい、はい、
It answers Miss Sasaki's yes or no question. Are you Japanese?
日本人ですか？
Next is
日本人、
Japanese, as in a person from Japan.
日本人、
After this is,
です。
here it's like the am in I am.
です。
Note the I is understood through context. Altogether it's,
はい、日本人です。
this literally means yes, Japanese person, I am. But it translates as, yes, I'm Japanese.
はい、日本人です。
The pattern is,
nation、人です。
I'm nationality.
nation、人です。
To use this pattern, simply replace the nation placeholder with the country you're from. Imagine you're from the United States of America,
アメリカ、
an abbreviated form of the United States of America.
アメリカ、アメリカ、
Say, I'm American. Ready?
アメリカ人です。
I'm American.
アメリカ人です。
In the conversation, the response to the yes-no question was yes. In the case the answer were no, the corresponding Japanese response would be いいえ, meaning no. いいえ, いいえ. For example, if Miss Sasaki asks, アメリカ人ですか? Are you American? Miss Nagaoka would answer, いいえ、日本人です. No, I'm Japanese.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat, or speak along with the native speakers.
日本人です。日本人です。
アメリカ人です。アメリカ人です。
オーストラリア人です。オーストラリア人です。
イギリス人です。イギリス人です。
中国から来ました。中国から来ました。
Did you notice how the last speaker uses a different pattern?
中国から来ました。
I'm from China. First is
中国、
China.
中国、中国
Next is
から、
from.
から、から
After this is
来ました。
came, as in I came.
来ました。来ました。
Note the I is understood through context.
来ました。
Is from the verb
来る、
meaning to come.
来る。
Altogether it's
中国から来ました。
This literally means China from I came, but it translates as I'm from China.
中国から来ました。
This pattern is
home country から来ました。
I'm from home country.
home country から来ました。
You should be aware of this, but for this lesson, we'll use the pattern
nation 人です。
I'm nationality.
nation 人です。
Let's review the new words.
イギリス人、
British person,
イギリス人、イギリス人。オーストラリア人、
Australian person,
オーストラリア人、オーストラリア人。中国、
China,
中国、中国。中国人、
Chinese person,
中国人、中国人。Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say Japan? 日本、日本。And how to say Japanese as in a Japanese person? 日本人、日本人。Do you remember how to say yes? はい、はい。Do you remember how Miss Nagaoka says, "Yes, I'm Japanese"?
はい、日本人です。
はい、日本人です。Do you remember how to say the question marking particle? か、か。Do you remember how Miss Sasaki asks, "Are you Japanese?"
日本人ですか？
日本人ですか？ Do you remember how to say American as in a person from the United States of America? アメリカ人、アメリカ人。And how to say British as in a British person? イギリス人、イギリス人。 Do you remember how to say Australian as in Australian person? オーストラリア人、オーストラリア人。And how to say no? いいえ、いいえ。
Let's practice. Imagine you're Rin Sasaki and you're American. Respond to the question. Ready?
アメリカ人ですか？
はい、アメリカ人です。
Listen again and repeat.
はい、アメリカ人です。はい、アメリカ人です。
Let's try another. Imagine you're Mia, a student from Australia. Pay attention to the nationality in the question. Ready?
イギリス人ですか？
いいえ、オーストラリア人です。
Listen again and repeat.
いいえ、オーストラリア人です。いいえ、オーストラリア人です。
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Jack Jones, a student from England. Ready?
イギリス人ですか？
はい、イギリス人です。
Listen again and repeat.
はい、イギリス人です。はい、イギリス人です。
In this video, you learn how to introduce yourselves in Japanese. Listen to the conversation. Ready? はじめまして。私はエマです。よろしくお願いします。Once more. はじめまして。私はエマです。よろしくお願いします。Let's start with はじめまして。はじめまして。はじめまして。はじめまして comes from the word はじめて meaning for the first time. This is the first thing you say when introducing yourself, so it comes before your name. After this she says, 私はエマです。私はエマです。私はエマです。私は meaning as for me can be omitted because it's clear the speaker is talking about him or herself in the context of a self-introduction. Finally, Yuya answers, よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。Literally means, be good to me, please. In the context of meeting someone for the first time, it translates as, pleased to meet you. Let's listen to the conversation once more. はじめまして。私はエマです。よろしくお願いします。Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click the link in the bio for more Japanese videos.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to use when talking with friends. After watching this video, you'll be able to have a casual conversation with a friend, and to say something is super. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
ほら、あの車見て。うわー、とってもかっこいいね。
Once more with the English translation.
ほら、あの車見て。
Hey, look at that car.
うわー、とってもかっこいいね。
Wow, that's super cool. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, Hey, look at that car. That's,
ほら、あの車見て。
listen to it again.
ほら、あの車見て。ほら、あの車見て。
This Japanese sentence literally translates as, Hey, that car, look. But it means, Hey, look at that car. Now, how do you respond to this? First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, Wow. That's,
うわー、うわー。
then you'll need to learn how to say, That's super adjective. The pattern is
とても
adjective.
ね。
This Japanese sentence literally translates as, Very adjective it is. But it means, That's super adjective. For example, That's super cool.
とってもかっこいいね。とてもかっこいいね。
Here are a few more words you can use with the same pattern to talk about something. Cool,
かっこいい。かっこいい。
cool,
かっこいい。
beautiful,
かわいい。かわいい。
beautiful,
かわいい。
new,
新しい。新しい。
new,
新しい。
nice,
いい。いい。
nice.
いい。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
ほら、あの車見て。
とてもかわいいね。
Hey, look at that car.
ほら、あの車見て。
That's super beautiful.
とてもかわいいね。
ほら、あの車見て。
とても新しいね。
Hey, look at that car.
ほら、あの車見て。
That's super new.
とても新しいね。
ほら、あの車見て。
とてもいいね。
Hey, look at that car.
ほら、あの車見て。
That's super nice.
とてもいいね。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, Hey, look at that car?
「ほら、あの車見て。
Imagine you want to say something is super beautiful. Do you remember how to say beautiful?
かわいい。かわいい。
Say, That's super beautiful.
とてもかわいいね。
Now respond using beautiful.
ほら、あの車見て。
とてもかわいいね。
Now imagine you want to say something is super new. Do you remember how to say new?
新しい、新しい、
Say, that's super new.
とても新しいね。
Now respond using new.
ほら、あの車見て。
とても新しいね。
Now imagine you want to say something is super nice. Do you remember how to say nice?
いい、いい、
Say, that's super nice.
とてもいいね。
Now respond using nice.
ほら、あの車見て。
とてもいいね。
In this lesson, you learned new vocabulary and phrases you can use to talk with friends. You're now able to have a casual conversation like a native speaker. Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what are you doing? After watching this video, you'll be able to answer this question and tell someone something about what you're writing. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
何をしているんですか？
日記を書いています。
Once more with the English translation.
何をしているんですか？
What are you doing?
日記を書いています。
I'm writing my journal. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what are you doing? That's,
何をしているんですか？
listen to it again.
何をしているんですか？何をしているんですか？
This Japanese sentence literally translates as, what doing is it? But it means, what are you doing? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is, object.
を書いています。
This Japanese sentence literally translates as, object writing I am. But it means, I'm writing object. For example, I'm writing my journal.
日記を書いています。日記を書いています。
Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern. Journal,
日記、日記、
journal,
日記、
goal,
目標、目標、
goal,
目標、
dream,
夢、夢、
dream,
夢、
to-do list,
やることリスト、やることリスト、
to-do list.
やることリスト。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
何をしているんですか？目標を書いています。
What are you doing?
何をしているんですか？
I'm writing my goals.
目標を書いています。何をしているんですか？夢を書いています。
What are you doing?
何をしているんですか？
I'm writing my dreams.
夢を書いています。
何をしているんですか？やることリストを書いています。
What are you doing?
何をしているんですか？
I'm writing a to-do list.
やることリストを書いています。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, What are you doing?
何をしているんですか？
Imagine you're writing your goals. Do you remember how to say, Goal?
目標、目標、
Say, I'm writing my goals.
目標を書いています。
Now answer the question saying you're writing your goals.
何をしているんですか？目標を書いています。
Now imagine you're writing your dreams. Do you remember how to say, Dream?
夢、夢、
Say, I'm writing my dreams.
夢を書いています。
Now answer the question saying you're writing your dreams.
何をしているんですか？夢を書いています。
Now imagine you're writing a to-do list. Do you remember how to say to-do list?
やることリスト、やることリスト、
Say, I'm writing a to-do list.
やることリストを書いています。
Now answer the question saying you're writing a to-do list.
何をしているんですか？やることリストを書いています。
In this lesson, you learned new vocabulary and phrases you can use to talk about what you're writing about. You're now able to talk about your writing like a native speaker. Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what are you going to talk about? After watching this video, you'll be able to answer this question and introduce a topic to give a simple speech. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
何について話しますか？
私の趣味について話します。
Once more with the English translation.
何について話しますか？
What are you going to talk about?
私の趣味について話します。
I'm going to talk about my hobbies. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, What are you going to talk about? That's,
何について話しますか？
listen to it again.
何について話しますか？何について話しますか？
This Japanese sentence literally translates as, About what are you talking? But it means, What are you going to talk about? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is topic.
について話します。
This Japanese sentence translates as topic about talk I am going to. But it means I am going to talk about topic. For example, I'm going to talk about my hobbies.
私の趣味について話します。私の趣味について話します。
Here Here are a few more topics you can use with the same pattern. My hobbies.
私の趣味。私の趣味。
My hobbies.
私の趣味。
Favorite food.
好きな食べ物。好きな食べ物。
Favorite food.
好きな食べ物。
Favorite place.
好きな場所。好きな場所。
Favorite place.
好きな場所。
Favorite book.
好きな本。好きな本。
Favorite book.
好きな本。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
何について話しますか？
好きな食べ物について話します。
What are you going to talk about?
何について話しますか？
I'm going to talk about my favorite food.
好きな食べ物について話します。
何について話しますか？
好きな場所について話します。
What are you going to talk about?
何について話しますか？
I'm going to talk about my favorite place.
好きな場所について話します。
何について話しますか？
好きな本について話します。
What are you going to talk about?
何について話しますか？
I'm going to talk about my favorite book.
好きな本について話します。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, "What are you going to talk about?"
何について話しますか？
Imagine you're going to talk about your favorite food. Do you remember how to say, "favorite food"?
好きな食べ物。好きな食べ物。
Say, "I'm going to talk about my favorite food."
好きな食べ物について話します。
Now, answer the question saying you're going to talk about your favorite food.
何について話しますか？
好きな食べ物について話します。
Now, imagine you're going to talk about your favorite place. Do you remember how to say, "favorite place"?
好きな場所。好きな場所。
Say, "I'm going to talk about my favorite place."
好きな場所について話します。
Now, answer the question saying you're going to talk about your favorite place.
何について話しますか？
好きな場所について話します。
Now, imagine you're going to talk about your favorite book. Do you remember how to say, "favorite book"?
好きな本。好きな本。
Say, "I'm going to talk about my favorite book."
好きな本について話します。
Now, answer the question saying you're going to talk about your favorite book.
何について話しますか？
好きな本について話します。
In this lesson, you learned new vocabulary and phrases you can use in your everyday life to give a simple speech. You're now able to introduce a topic like a native speaker. Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to comment on a joke. After watching this video, you'll be able to compliment or criticize anyone on their sense of humor. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
あはは、本当におかしいね。
Once more with the English translation.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems.
あはは、本当におかしいね。
Haha, you're so funny. First of all, let's listen to the joke again. Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems. That's
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
Listen to it again.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
Now, how do you react to a joke? First, you'll need to learn how to say ha ha. That's
あはは。あはは。
then you'll need to learn how to say you're so adjective. The pattern is
本当に
adjective.
ね。
This Japanese sentence literally translates as truly adjective, right? But it means you're so adjective. For example, you're so funny.
本当におかしいね。本当におかしいね。
Here are a few more words you can use with the same pattern. Funny,
おかしい。おかしい。
funny,
おかしい。
awesome,
素晴らしい。素晴らしい。
awesome,
素晴らしい。
boring,
つまらない。つまらない。
boring,
つまらない。
smart,
頭がいい。頭がいい。
smart,
頭がいい。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
本当に素晴らしいね。
Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
You're so awesome.
本当に素晴らしいね。
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
本当につまらないね。
Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
You're so boring.
本当につまらないね。
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
本当に頭がいいね。
Why is the math book sad? Because it has so many problems.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう？問題が多いからだよ。
You're so smart.
本当に頭がいいね。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember what the joke was?
数学の本はどうして悲しそう問題が多いからだよ。
Imagine you think it was awesome. Do you remember how to say awesome?
素晴らしい。素晴らしい。
Say, you're so awesome.
本当に素晴らしいね。
Now react to the joke saying the other person is awesome.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう問題が多いからだよ。
本当に素晴らしいね。
Now imagine you think it was boring. Do you remember how to say boring?
つまらない。つまらない。
Say, you're so boring.
本当につまらないね。
Now react to the joke saying the other person is boring.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう問題が多いからだよ。
本当につまらないね。
Now imagine you think it was smart. Do you remember how to say smart?
頭がいい。頭がいい。
Say, you're so smart.
本当に頭がいいね。
Now react to the joke saying the other person is smart.
数学の本はどうして悲しそう問題が多いからだよ。
本当に頭がいいね。
In this lesson, you learned new vocabulary and phrases you can use in your everyday life to compliment or criticize anyone on their sense of humor. You're now able to comment on a joke like a native speaker. Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what are you good at? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about what you're good at doing. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
何が得意ですか
語学が得意です。
Once more with the English translation.
何が得意ですか
What are you good at?
語学が得意です。
I'm good at languages. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what are you good at? That's,
何が得意ですか
listen to it again.
何が得意ですか何が得意ですか
This Japanese sentence literally translates as, what good at are you? But it means, what are you good at? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is skill.
が得意です。
This Japanese sentence literally translates as skill good at I am. But it means I'm good at skill. For example, I'm good at languages.
語学が得意です。語学が得意です。
Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk about your skills. Language.
語学。語学。
Language.
語学。
Sales.
セールス。セールス。
Sales.
セールス、
typing,
タイピング、タイピング、
typing,
タイピング、
video editing,
ビデオ編集、ビデオ編集、
video editing.
ビデオ編集。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
何が得意ですか？
セールスが得意です。
What are you good at?
何が得意ですか？
I'm good at sales.
セールスが得意です。
何が得意ですか？
タイピングが得意です。
What are you good at?
何が得意ですか？
I'm good at typing.
タイピングが得意です。
何が得意ですか？
ビデオ編集が得意です。
What are you good at?
何が得意ですか？
I'm good at video editing.
ビデオ編集が得意です。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, What are you good at?
「何が得意ですか？
Imagine you're good at sales. Do you remember how to say sales?
セールス、セールス、
Say, I'm good at sales.
セールスが得意です。
Now, answer the question saying you're good at sales.
何が得意ですか？
セールスが得意です。
Now, imagine you're good at typing. Do you remember how to say typing?
タイピング、タイピング、
Say, I'm good at typing.
タイピングが得意です。
Now answer the question saying you're good at typing.
何が得意ですか？
タイピングが得意です。
Now imagine you're good at video editing. Do you remember how to say video editing?
ビデオ編集、ビデオ編集、
Say, I'm good at video editing.
ビデオ編集が得意です。
Now answer the question saying you're good at video editing.
何が得意ですか？
ビデオ編集が得意です。
In this lesson, you learned new vocabulary and phrases you can use in your everyday life to talk about your abilities. You're now able to say you're good at something like a native speaker. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. In this lesson, we're going to talk about 10 Japanese adjectives you can use to describe people. Let's get started. Okay, let's take a look at the vocabulary for this lesson. Let's start with this side of the board. Let's go through each vocabulary point one by one. The first vocabulary word is seiga takai. Seiga takai. This means tall. Next is wakai. Wakai. This means young. Next is majime. Majime. This means serious. Next is kawaii. Kawaii. It means cute. make sure to make this ee at the end very clear. Kawaii. Next is kakkoi. Kakkoi. This means cool. In this word, also, there's this ee sound at the end and this stop sound before the ko. Kakkoi. Kakkoi. Cool. Okay, let's take a look at the second group of vocabulary words. First, we have sei ga hikui. Sei ga hikui. This means short. This is the opposite of sei ga takai, tall. Next is hosoi. Hosoi. This means thin. Hosoi. Next is kirei. Kirei. It means pretty. Next, handsome. 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 You might notice that this word is written in katakana because it's a loan word from another language, English. Handsome. Finally, we have yasashi. Yasashi. It means gentle. So also note, this word ends in a similar ee pattern. Shi and e at the end creates a long e sound. Yasashi. Okay, so those are all the vocabulary words we're going to practice in this lesson. Okay, let's take a look at a dialogue that uses this vocabulary. Let's start here. あれは弟です。あれは弟です。That's my younger brother. The response is, へー、背が高いですね。背が高いですね。We learned 背が高い means tall. Oh, he's tall. 背が高いですね。Okay, now let's look at a couple of examples and review the basic pattern that we use with this vocabulary. Let's start here with this example sentence. 僕は若いです。僕は若いです。I am young. This is said by a male speaker. We know this because of the word 僕, which means I for men. 僕は若いです。I am young. The second example sentence here is 彼女は背が低いです。彼女は背が低いです。She is short. So in these sentences, the adjectives are in red. 若い and 背が低い. So you'll notice in both of these example sentences, we follow the adjective with des. So this is our basic pattern for this grammar. The basic pattern that you can use is person, wa, adjective, des. Person wa adjective des. This means person is adjective. As we see here, 僕は若いです. So I wa 若いです. I am young. And 彼女は背が低いです. She is short. We also saw this in the dialogue. へー、背が高いですね. In this case, we don't have the person before the adjective because it's understood from context. The first speaker said, that's my younger brother. So we understand from the situation. You can use this pattern to make your own sentences that describe people.
Do you remember how to say he? Kare. Kare. And how to say tall? Sei ga takai. Sei ga takai. Do you remember how to say he's tall? Kare wa sei ga takai desu. Kare wa sei ga takai desu. Do you remember how to say young? Wakai. Wakai. And how to say short? Sei ga hikui. Sei ga hikui. Do you remember how to say thin? Hosoi.
細い. And how to say serious. 真面目, 真面目. Do you remember how to say pretty? きれい, きれい. And how to say cute? かわいい, かわいい. Do you remember how to say handsome? ハンサム, ハンサム. And how to say cool? かっこいい, かっこいい. Do you remember how to say gentle? 優しい, 優しい.
All right, that is everything for this lesson. In this video, you learned 10 adjectives that you can use to talk about people in Japanese. You also learned a simple grammar point that you can use to make your own sentences with these vocabulary words. Of course, if you like this lesson, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to practice making example sentences with this information, please feel free to do so in the comment section of this video. Last, if you want to get more tools and resources to help you with your Japanese studies, please check us out at JapanesePod101.com for more. Thanks very much for watching this lesson, and I will see you again next time. Bye! Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about some common Japanese verbs you can use in daily life. Let's get started. Okay, let's take a look at the key vocabulary for this lesson. For this lesson, there are 10 words that are very commonly used in everyday life in Japanese. Let's take a look. Okay, the first verb is tabemasu, tabemasu, tabemasu. This means eat. The next verb is nomimasu, nomimasu, nomimasu. This means drink. The next verb is mimasu, mimasu, mimasu. This verb means look, watch, or see. So in English, we can use look or watch or see according to the situation, but in Japanese, we don't have this differentiation. We just use mimasu for all three. The next verb is kikimasu, kikimasu, kikimasu. This verb means listen or hear. So just as with look or watch or see, we can use kikimasu to mean listen or hear. We don't have to worry about two separate verbs in Japanese. Okay, the next verb is ikimasu, 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 ikimasu. This means go. Next is kaimasu, kaimasu, kaimasu. This verb means buy. The next verb is shimasu, shimasu, shimasu. This verb means do. Next is hanashimasu, hanashimasu, hanashimasu. This verb means speak or talk. So again, just as with kikimasu and mimasu, this verb can be used to mean two different things, to mean speak or to mean talk. In Japanese, we use hanashimasu to express this. Last two, yomimasu, yomimasu, yomimasu. This means read. And finally, kakimasu, kakimasu, kakimasu. This verb means write. So these are the key vocabulary words we'll look at in more depth in this lesson. Okay, let's take a look at a dialogue that uses some of these verbs. The first sentence here is 週末は何をしますか? 週末は何をしますか? Which means, what are you doing this weekend? The response is 車を 買います. 車を買います, which means I'm buying a car. In these sentences, we see some of the verbs that we looked at earlier in this lesson. We see します here and 買います here. At the end of this sentence, which ends in します, we see か. So this particle makes a sentence into a question. What are you doing this weekend? I'm buying a car. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more examples that use these verbs. The first example sentence is テレビを見ます. テレビを見ます, which means I'm watching TV. The second example is 海へ行きます. 海へ行きます, which means I'm going to the beach. So you'll notice in these example sentences and in the dialogue, the verb comes at the end of the sentence. Here and here. The particle changes according to the meaning of the sentence, but the verb is always at the end. Let's take a look at the basic grammar pattern we need to make sentences like this. Okay, let's take a look at the key grammar pattern that we've seen in this lesson. First, we see here in parentheses, 私は. So, 私は means I am, or I as the subject of the sentence. It's in parentheses here because it's very common to drop this when the subject of the sentence is already known from context. So, for example, when we saw this sentence, テレビを見ます, or this one, 海へ行きます, the subject of the sentence is clear. I'm talking about my own action. So we don't have to say 私はテレビを見ます or 私は海へ行きます. It's already clear. So it's very common to drop this. It's not incorrect to use 私は at the beginning of the sentence, but it does make things a bit more efficient. After this, we see some kind of information depending on the verb used, followed by ます here. So again, this uses the polite non-past form of the verb, as we saw at the beginning of the lesson in the vocabulary lists. So according to the verb that you use, this part of the sentence will change. So with each verb, there's a different sound. So that part of the sentence will be decided according to the verb. Here is the basic pattern that you can follow when you want to make your own sentence. I plus the object or the destination, depending on what you want to say, followed by a particle and then the verb. Particle, again, will change according to the verb you want to use. For example, in this sentence we saw e to indicate direction. In this sentence we saw o. Same thing here and here. This indicates an action of some kind. So depending on your verb, depending on the information that you want to communicate, your particle will change. But this is the basic pattern that you can use.
Do you remember how to say drink? 飲みます。飲みます。And how to say eat? 食べます。食べます。Do you remember how to say buy? 買います。買います。Do you remember how to say go? 行きます。行きます。And how to say look, watch, see? 見ます。見ます。Do you remember how to say lesson, hear? 聞きます。聞きます。And do you remember how to say speak, talk? 話します。話します。Do you remember how to say write? 書きます。書きます。 and how to say read. 読みます。読みます。Do you remember how to say do? します。します。
Great! So in this lesson, you learned 10 common Japanese verbs that you can use to talk about daily life, and you learned a key grammar pattern that you can use to make your own sentences. I hope that this was helpful for you. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, or if you want to practice making some example sentences, please feel free to do so in the comment section of this video. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you again soon. Bye! Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.
Hi everyone! Welcome to Kanji time. Today we are going to review N5 kanji. Let's start. If you want to do the quiz first, please go to these times. Then, this kanji means big, large, a lot. The on-reading for this kanji is dai, tai, like in taihan, which means majority. And the kun-reading is o, like in oki, meaning large, big. Oki, chisai. Then, this kanji means man, male. The on-reading for this kanji is dan, nan, as in danshi, which means boy, boys. And the kun-reading is otoko, like in otokomae, which means handsome. Otokomae. Oh, otokomae. You're handsome. 大丈夫かい? よろしく. Then, this kanji means inner, center, between, middle. The on-reading for this kanji is 中, like in 中学校, which means junior high school. 小学校、中学校、高校、大学. And the kun-reading is 中, like in 夜中, which means midnight. Cool. Midnight. 夜中. Then, this kanji means long, leader. The on-reading for this kanji is 長, like in 長時間, which means long time. Opposite of long time is short time, 短時間. 長時間, 短時間. 長時間, 短時間. And the kun-reading is 長, like in 長い, which means long. Then, this kanji means sky. The on-reading for this kanji is 天, as in 天国, which means heaven. And the kun-reading for this kanji is 雨, ama, like in 天の川, meaning Milky Way. Quiz time! Say the reading of the following kanji. 夜中, 大きい, 男子, 天の川, 長時間. Now say the meaning of the following words. 中学校, junior high school, 男前, handsome, 大半, majority, 天国, heaven, 長い, long. That's it! Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it and subscribe to our channel. Thank you! 大きい声でさようなら。小さい声でさようなら。Bye! Heaven! コッケコッコー！ everyone, welcome to Kanji time. Today we are going to learn N5 kanji. And if you want to do the quiz first, please go to these times. This kanji means to read. The on reading for this kanji is 読, like in 読書, which means reading. いい本でした。And the kun reading is よ、like in 読む, which means to read. あなたの心を読む. To read your mind. お腹すいた? This kanji means south. The on reading for this kanji is 南, like in 南米, which means South America. And the kun reading is 南, like in 南十字星, which means Southern Cross. This kanji means 1, 2. The on reading for this kanji is 2, like in 2時, which means 2 o'clock. 1時2時. Oh, 2時だ. お昼寝の時間だ. And the kun reading is 2, like in 2人, which means 2 people. 仲のいい2人. Good friends. This kanji means day, sun. The on reading for this kanji is 日, 日, like in 日時, which means time and date. 日時. 都合のいい日時を教えてください. When are you available? And the kun reading is 日、か, like in 3日, which means third of the month. 5月の3日が都合がいいです. I'm available on 3rd of May. This kanji means to enter, to insert. To insert. The on reading for this kanji is 入, like in 入学, which means entering school. 入学式, entrance ceremony, 卒業式, graduation ceremony. And the kun reading is はい、い, like in 入る, which means to enter. お店の中に入る. いらっしゃいませ。あ、こんにちは。カメラの中に入る。Quiz time. Say the reading of the following kanji. 2時。南十字星。入る。3日。読書。Now say the meaning of the following words. 南米 South America 入学 Entering school 日時 Time and date 読む To read 2人 2 people. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us for this lesson. I'll see you next time. Bye bye! あなたの心を読みます。もっと漢字が勉強したい。素晴らしい。それでは、バイバイ。Hi everyone, welcome to Kanji time. Today we are going to learn N5 kanji. Let's go! If you want to do the quiz first, please go to these times. This kanji means year. The on reading for this kanji is 年, like in 来年, which means next year. 去年, 今年, 来年. Last year, this year, next year. And the kun reading is 年, like in 今年, which means this year, this year. 今年. 私の今年の目標はもう終わるんですけど、今年の目標は優柔不断を減らす。優柔不断じゃなくするっていう目標だったんですけども、
どうでしょうか？あんまり変わってないかな？難しいね。文。This kanji means to buy. The on reading for this kanji is buy, like in buy, which means buying and selling. Buy. It's not buy. Buying and selling. And the kun reading for this kanji is ka, like in 買い物, which means shopping. 買い物。いらっしゃいませ。このメガネいいですね。ちょうどいい。よく見える。これください。Ben. This kanji means white. The on reading for this kanji is 白。白 like in 白人 which means Caucasian. And the kun reading is 白 like in 白い which means white. 雪が降った後はあたり一面白い。Ben. This kanji means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This kanji means 8. The on reading for this kanji is 8, like in 8月, which means August. Let's go to the sea. And the kun reading for this kanji is 8つ, よ, like in 8つ, which means 8 items. 1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ、6つ、7つ、8つ、9つ。Boom. This kanji means half, middle, semi. The on reading for this kanji is 半, like in 半日, which means half day. And the kun reading for this kanji is 中, like in 道半ば, which means halfway. Quiz time! Say the reading of the following kanji. 8つ。白人。半日。買い物。来年。Now say the meaning of the following words. Buy. Buying and selling. 今年。This year. 8月。August. 白い。White. 道半ば。Halfway. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please press the like button and subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye bye. Buying and selling. 皆さんこんにちは。Hi everyone. Welcome to Kanji Time. Today we are going to learn N5 kanji. 行きましょう。If you want to do the quiz first, please go to these times. Jump. Then. This kanji means name, reputation. The on reading for this kanji is 名, 名, like in 名字, which means family name. And the kun reading is な, as in 名前, meaning name. あなたの名前は何ですか? What is your name? What's your name? Done. This kanji means I. The on reading for this kanji is 目, like in 目次, which means a table of contents. And the kun reading is 目, like in 左目, which means left eye. 左目、右目、両目。左目、右目、両目。Done. This kanji means friend. The on reading for this kanji is you, like in 友人, which means friends. 私の友人です。And the kun reading is 友, like in 友達, which means friend. 私の友達のアリサです。私の友人のアリサです。友達と友人同じ意味なんですけども、友人の方がもうちょっとポライトな感じです。友人の方がもうちょっとフォーマルな言い方です。
This kanji means speech, to talk, story, conversation. The on reading for this kanji is wa, like in 会話 which means conversation. 会話をしましょう. Let's have a conversation. And the kun readings are 話 and 花, like in 話す to speak, to talk. This kanji means to stand, to establish. The on reading for this kanji is 立 like in 立体 which means solid, 立体的な. And the kun readings is た like in 立ち止まる which means stop walking. Quiz time! Say the reading of the following kanji. 目次友人話す立ち止まる名前 Now say the meaning of the following words. 友達 friend 会話 conversation 名字 family name 左目 left eye 立体 solid 今日も一日お疲れ様でした。I'll see you next time. Bye bye. 立ち止まる to stop walking. Hi everyone. Welcome to 漢字 time. 今日は N2 漢字を習います。行きましょう Let's go! If you want to do the quiz first, please go to these times. This kanji means honor, revered, precious, noble. The on reading for this kanji is 尊 like in 尊敬 which means respect. 話すのが上手な人を尊敬します。I respect someone who can talk fluently. And the kun reading is 尊 as in 聖人を尊ぶ which means to respect the saint. This kanji means guidance, leading, usher. The on reading for this kanji is 導 like in 導入する which means to introduce. AI を導入する And the kun reading is 導 as in 導く which means to read. 導く正しい道に導くこっちだよ This kanji means deliver, reach, arrive, report. Kun reading is 届 like in 手が届く which means can afford, within one's reach. 夢にもうすぐで手が届く This kanji means expand, spread, look hard. The on reading for this kanji is 点 like in 進展 which means progress. 話が進展する and 発展する which means to develop, grow. This kanji means stratum, social class, layer, floor. The on reading for this kanji is 層 like in 超高層ビル which means skyscrapers. Skyscraper, neon light, waiting paper. And 地層 which means stratum, geological layer. Quiz time! Say the reading of the following kanji. 発展する聖人を尊ぶ地層導く Now say the meaning of the following words. 進展 Progress 尊敬 Respect 手が届く Can afford Within one's reach 超高層ビル skyscraper 導入する to introduce. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. いつも見てくれてありがとうございます。あなたを漢字マスターの道へ導きます。
These listening skills. In this video, you'll have a chance to test them out with a quiz. First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
先生が学生に話しています。学生は何を持っていきますか？
明日美術館に行きます。ペンとノート、それから飲み物を持ってきてください。ランチは美術館のレストランで食べます。ですから、サンドイッチは持ってこないでください。
先生、傘はどうしますか？
雨が降るかもしれません。傘も持ってきてください。
わかりました。学生は何を持っていきますか？先生が学生に話しています。学生は何を持っていきますか？
明日美術館に行きます。ペンとノート、それから飲み物を持ってきてください。ランチは美術館のレストランで食べます。ですから、サンドイッチは持ってこないでください。
先生、傘はどうしますか？
雨が降るかもしれません。傘も持ってきてください。
わかりました。
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. You'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end.
男の人と女の人が話しています。二人はいつマッサージに行きますか？友達が新しいマッサージの店をオープンしました。
マッサージの店ですか。行きたいです。
土曜日は時間ありますか？
土曜日は忙しいですが、日曜日はどうですか？
日曜日は休みです。金曜日はどうですか？
あ、いいですね。
二人はいつマッサージに行きますか？男の人と女の人が話しています。二人はいつマッサージに行きますか？友達が新しいマッサージの店をオープンしました。
マッサージの店ですか。行きたいです。
土曜日は時間ありますか？
土曜日は忙しいですが、日曜日はどうですか？
日曜日は休みです。金曜日はどうですか？
あ、いいですね。
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. You'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end.
女の人がお店の人と話しています。女の人はこれから何階に行きますか？すみません。女の服はどこですか？
女の服は3階と4階と5階にあります。
コートは何階ですか？
コートは4階にあります。エレベーターはそちらにあります。
4階ですね。ありがとうございます。女の人はこれから何階に行きますか？女の人がお店の人と話しています。女の人はこれから何階に行きますか？すみません。女の服はどこですか？
女の服は3階と4階と5階にあります。
コートは何階ですか？
コートは4階にあります。 エレベーターはそちらにあります。
4階ですね。ありがとうございます。
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. These listening skills. In this video, you'll have a chance to test them out with a quiz. First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
女の人と男の人が話しています。男の人はどうして遅くなりましたか？
遅くなってごめんなさい。
今日も寝坊ですか？
いえ、今日は6時に起きました。
じゃあ、どうしてまた遅刻なんですか？
バスがなかなか来なくて。
そうなんですか。
あ、実はバスは少ししか遅れなかったんです。でも、降りるバス停を間違えました。それで、そこから歩いてきました。
男の人はどうして遅くなりましたか？女の人と男の人が話しています。男の人はどうして遅くなりましたか？
遅くなってごめんなさい。
今日も寝坊ですか？
いえ、今日は6時に起きました。
じゃあ、どうしてまた遅刻なんですか？
バスがなかなか来なくて。
そうなんですか。
あ、実はバスは少ししか遅れなかったんです。でも、降りるバス停を間違えました。それで、そこから歩いてきました。
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. You'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end.
2人の学生が話しています。今日は何曜日ですか？数学の試験は来週ですか？
そうですね。来週の火曜日ですね。
え？先生は木曜日だと言っていましたよ。
違います。試験は火曜日で、結果は木曜日です。
本当ですか？今日を入れてあと4日しかありません。
そうですね。じゃあ、一緒に勉強しましょ
今日は何曜日ですか？2人の学生が話しています。今日は何曜日ですか？数学の試験は来週ですか？
う。そうですね。来週の火曜日ですね。
え？先生は木曜日だと言っていましたよ。
違います。試験は火曜日で、結果は木曜日です。
本当ですか？今日を入れてあと4日しかありません。
そうですね。じゃあ、一緒に勉強しましょ
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. You'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end.
男の人と女の人が話しています。面接は何時からですか？仕事探しはどうですか？
う。大丈夫です。一応、明日面接があります。
本当ですか？じゃあ面接が終わってから一緒にコーヒーを飲みに行けませんか？
いいですね。でも、面接は午後7時からです。遅くなりますよ。
じゃあ面接の前はどうですか？
いいですね。じゃあ、4時にしましょ
面接は何時からですか？男の人と女の人が話しています。面接は何時からですか？仕事探しはどうですか？
大丈夫です。一応、明日面接があります。
本当ですか？じゃあ、面接が終わってから一緒にコーヒーを飲みに行けませんか？
いいですね。でも、面接は午後7時からです。遅くなりますよ。
じゃあ、面接の前はどうですか？
いいですね。じゃあ、4時にしましょ
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time. You'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end.
男の人が女の人に今日の予定について話しています。女の人はこれから何をしますか？
今日は会議がありますから、まずは飲み物を買ってきてください。それから資料もプリントアウトしておいてください。そして郵便局に行ってこの手紙も送ってください。郵便局は5時まで空いていますから、会議が終わってからでもいいですよ。
はい、わかりました。女の人はこれから何をしますか？男の人が女の人に今日の予定について話しています。女の人はこれから何をしますか？
今日は会議がありますから、まずは飲み物を買ってきてください。それから資料もプリントアウトしておいてください。そして郵便局に行ってこの手紙も送ってください。郵便局は5時まで空いていますから、会議が終わってからでもいいですよ。
はい、わかりました。
Did you get it right? I hope you learned something from this quiz. Let us know if you have any questions. See you next time.
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. More. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue. Second, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Next, you'll review the key vocabulary followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue without the text.
到着。
やっと海に着いた。綺麗ね。沖縄は最高。
そうだね。懐かしいな。30年ぶりだ。
気持ちいい。海が大好き。
シュノーケルやってみたいな。
いい考えですね。私もやってみたいです。
今は4時半でまだやってるかどうか。
聞いてみよう。
まだ大丈夫。早く着替えよう。信じられない。学長すごいかっこいい。
すごい体しています。
まあね。
すごい。メルに全然勝ってる。すごい学長。
メル、ガリガリだね。大丈夫？今夜青森飲みながらゴーヤチャンプルとタコライスを食べよう。それで肉をつけよ
う。Now listen again with the text on the screen.
到着。
やっと海に着いた。綺麗ね。沖縄は最高。
そうだね。懐かしいな。30年ぶりだ。
気持ちいい。海が大好き。
シュノーケルやってみたいな。
いい考えですね。私もやってみたいです。
今は4時半でまだやってるかどうか。
聞いてみよう。
まだ大丈夫。早く着替えよう。 信じられない。学長すごいかっこいい。
すごい体しています。
まあね。
すごい。メルに全然勝ってる。すごい学長。
メル、ガリガリだね。大丈夫？今夜青森飲みながらゴーヤチャンプルとタコライスを食べよう。それで肉をつけよ
う。Now you'll hear the key vocabulary followed by the English translation.
着替える
change
到着
arrive
泡盛
particular type of alcohol unique to Okinawa
ガリガリ
extremely thin skin and bones
懐かしい
nostalgic
沖縄
Japan's most southern islands
ゴーヤチャンプルー
stir-fried Goya
やっと
finally
タコライス
taco rice
シュノーケル
snorkel
Finally, you'll review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
到着。
やっと海に着いた。綺麗ね。沖縄は最高。
そうだね。懐かしいな。30年ぶりだ。
気持ちいい。海が大好き。
シュノーケルをやってみたいな。
いい考えですね。私もやってみたいです。
今は4時半でまだやってるかどうか
聞いてみよ
う。まだ大丈夫。早く着替えよう。信じられない。学長すごいかっこいい。
すごい体しています。
まあね。
すごい。メルに全然勝ってる。すごい学長。
メル、ガリガリだね。大丈夫？今夜青森飲みながらゴーヤチャンプルとタコライスを食べよう。それで肉をつけよ
う。This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues.
In this lesson, you'll listen to the dialogue with the text. Second, you'll follow the dialogue with the text again. Next, you'll review the key vocabulary, followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you've learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
久々元気？
元気じゃない。沖縄は大変だった。
どうしたの？
シュノーケルするところでスコールが来て、雷はゴロゴロ、雨はザーザー、命が危なかった。ギリギリで逃げた。
大変だったね。
大変だったけど、メルと学長の方が倍ぐらい大変だった。
大変？何やったの？
それはちょっと言いにくい。本人から話を聞いて。
じゃあ2人は今どこ？
それも言いにくいな。
教えて。
無理、教えない。でも優秀な弁護士が必要。ところでお土産。
ありがとう。なんだろう。これはハブアイス？
そうそう、すごいでしょ。早く食べてみて。
溶けてる。ドロドロ。
飛行機の中暑かったから。まあでも味は変わってないよ。ストローで飲んでみて。
うん、わかった。おいしい。ありがとう。
でしょ。秀夫は彼の分もあるの。
彼の就活はやばい。仕事が見つかるかどうか。
でも自分の方がもっと心配。仕事まだ決まってないんだ。ね、頼みがあるんだけど、来週大事な面接があるから手伝ってほしい。
いいよ。
ありがとう、助かった。
Now follow along with the text on the screen again.
久々元気？
元気じゃない。沖縄は大変だった。
どうしたの？
シュノーケルするところでスコールが来て、雷はゴロゴロ、雨はザーザー、命が危なかった。ギリギリで逃げた。
大変だったね。
大変だったけど、メルと学長の方が倍ぐらい大変だった。
大変？何やったの？
それはちょっと言いにくい。本人から話を聞いて。
じゃあ2人は今どこ？
それも言いにくいな。
教えて。
無理、教えない。でも優秀な弁護士が必要。ところでお土産。
ありがとう。なんだろう。これはハブアイス？
そうそう、すごいでしょ。早く食べてみて。
溶けてる、ドロドロ。
飛行機の中暑かったから。まあでも味は変わってないよ。ストローで飲んでみて。
わかった。おいしい。ありがと
う。でしょ。秀夫は彼の分もあるの。
彼の就活はやばい。仕事が見つかるかどうか。
でも自分の方がもっと心配。仕事まだ決まってないんだ。ね、頼みがあるんだけど、来週大事な面接があるから手伝ってほしい。
いいよ。
ありがとう、助かった。
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary followed by the English translation.
スコール、
squall,
雷、
thunder, lightning,
お土産、
souvenir,
ハブアイス、
habu ice cream,
弁護士、
lawyer,
ストロー、
straw,
優秀、
excellent.
Finally, you'll review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
久々元気？
元気じゃない。沖縄は大変だった。
どうしたの？
シュノーケルするところでスコールが来て、雷はゴロゴロ、雨はザーザー、命が危なかった。ギリギリで逃げた。
大変だったね。
大変だったけど、メルと学長の方が倍ぐらい大変だった。
大変？何やったの？
それはちょっと言いにくい。本人から話を聞いて。
じゃあ2人は今どこ？
それも言いにくいな。
教えて。
無理、教えない。でも優秀な弁護士が必要。ところでお土産。
ありがとう。なんだろう。これはハブアイス？
そうそう、すごいでしょ。早く食べてみて。
溶けてる、ドロドロ。
飛行機の中暑かったから。まあでも味は変わってないよ。ストローで飲んでみて。
わかった。おいしい。ありがと
う。でしょ。秀夫は彼の分もあるの。
彼の就活はやばい。仕事が見つかるかどうか。
でも自分の方がもっと心配。仕事まだ決まってないんだ。ね、頼みがあるんだけど、来週大事な面接があるから手伝ってほし
いいよ。
ありがとう。助かった。
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
10 third words. Let's go. 寂しい lonely 寂しい lonely 一人ぼっちで寂しい悲しい sad 悲しい sad 冷蔵庫に入れていたアイスクリームがなくなっていて悲しい暗い gloomy 暗い gloomy テンションが低くて暗い gloomy 哀れ miserable 哀れ miserable 雨の中捨てられた哀れな子犬怯えている frightened 怯えている frightened お化け屋敷に一人で入り怯えている怖いよがっかりしている disappointed がっかりしている disappointed 行けると思っていた旅行に行けなくなってがっかりしているひどい terrible ひどい terrible ぶつかっても謝らないなんてひどいひどいひどい傷つける hurt 傷つける hurt ひどい言葉を言って誰かを傷つける hurt 疲れ果てている exhausted 疲れ果てている exhausted 衝撃を受ける shocked 衝撃を受ける shocked 知らなかった事実を聞いて衝撃を受ける
Now that you're finished with this lesson, want to know if your Japanese skills have improved? Take our free assessment test to assess your language, discover your true learning level, and get free access to a language course for your specific level. An easy-to-follow course where you learn the real language, the everyday conversations that you'll soon have, and absorb these practical conversations just by listening along, with quick audio and video lessons from real teachers. So click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get assessed.